Everton have today been linked with a move for Spurs striker Richarlison. The former Everton player is available apparently to leave Tottenham this summer. Obviously he's going to be linked back to Everton, isn't he? He clearly, his love for Everton is still there, always posting pictures of his time at Everton on his Instagram and things like that. You know, the Brazilian forward left in June 2022. Hasn't gone great for him at Tottenham, let's be honest. He's been injured a lot of the time, hasn't scored probably enough goals. He's on 1 in 3 this season for Tottenham, but just hasn't played enough games in the Premier League. Apparently he could be available on loan. Now on loan, I think maybe he's a player, well no, I think yes on loan, to be honest. He's a player who can play right the way across the front three. He scores in the Premier League, we know that. He works hard as well. You know that you are getting that quality from him. And if David Moyes is looking for a proven forward in the Premier League, then Richarlison is that player. Obviously, you've got the injury stuff and all that, and I understand why people would want to stay away from that. Everton desperately need pace in wide areas, so I'm hoping they're going to be looking around Europe for that younger players who've got that turn of pace, who can add goals as well. But when you're looking at that forward line, you also want some players who have been there and done it. And available on loan, I think it'd be a sensible signing for Everton. Whether there is anything in it, whether Tottenham really are going to, can't call them Tottenham, can I? Tottenham Hotspur, just in case Daniel Levy gets a cop on. Whether or not they are going to let him out on loan remains to be seen. He's got 2 years left on his current deal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, so maybe, we'll see. It's an inevitable link, isn't it? It's an easy link as well, but we'll wait and see if there is anything with that. Another player Everton have been linked with today is Wilfred Ndidi. We were linked to him last summer, but the Leicester City midfield has been linked again today. He's apparently got a £9 million relegation release clause in his contract. He's made 25 appearances this season for Leicester City and scored no goals, so he fits in with Everton's lack of goals. But he has got 4 assists. I think this story is basically saying if Idrissa Gana Gueye was to leave, you know, Everton could look to Ndidi to replace him. Again, I think there's, me personally, be looking at younger, more mobile players, but Ndidi a few years ago was really highly rated. And I think on his day he's a decent player, that's for sure, but I'm just not sure that Everton are going to go after him. But again, David Moyes might want a little bit of a mix, mightn't he? Might want Premier League experienced players who played in the Premier League, as well as hopefully bringing in some who haven't. So we'll have to see whether or not there is anything in the Ndidi stuff as well. MP Ian Byrne has raised the possibility of an Everton clause as part of reforms to the governance of English football. This obviously is to do with also an independent regulator that a lot of people have called for. MPs on Monday night voted 342 to 70 in favour of the new football governance rules, including an independent regulator. As part of the football governance, it's looking at things like fair ticket pricing, ex-players who've been affected by dementia, and the Everton Clause. And the Everton Clause will basically give football fans a right to appeal, you know, and have a backstop, if you like, a backstop power, if you like, if it's deemed that the punishment has been too harsh. And Everton were treated unfairly last season. I think a lot of people have agreed with that. 2 separate points deductions, random points picked from nowhere, no explanation, and different things. And then when you see in the way Forest were treated, and then Leicester City as well, it is a little bit of a nonsense, really. And it just felt as though the Premier League were just making it up as they go along. Well, something like the Everton Clause would sort of stop that and give fans the chance to get everything together. Everton protested, of course we did. We had protests at Premier League games. A lot of Everton fans went down and protest outside of the Premier League headquarters as well, but it didn't really do anything, did it? So having an opportunity to take it maybe to, you know, an appeal, or maybe to MPs to look to government for them to look over it, might also put a bit of emphasis back on the Premier League to not dish out these draconian rules that they do, and come up with a better way, because what Everton were done for was not what PSR is. You know, in their handbook, which is 300 odd pages, I think something like football, you know, trying to seek a football advantage is something was mentioned about twice, I think. Once or twice in that. And football advantage, I've said this many a time, I've yet to see a stadium rise at the far post and score the winning goal when you're looking for football advantages. And that's where Everton's money basically was gone. You only have to look at our squad 4 or 5 years ago to see it decimated now. Every year chopping, cutting and cutting and cutting, and then people going, why are Everton in a relegation battle? Oh, I wonder. Because the Premier League have told us that, you know, we've got to sell all our players and we can't buy any, and all of these nonsense PSR rules. So there's, you know, any sort of reforms to that I'm in favour of. We'll see how much power they've got, but giving fans the opportunity to appeal, to feel like their voice can be heard, rather than it just falling on Dickie Masters and his cronies, we just ignore it, then I'm in favour of. So let's see whether it, you know, how that sort of shapes up. But that vote, a resounding majority of 270, means that there will be an independent regulator, and let's hope they do the job. Do your job, as Roy Keane would say. Harrison Armstrong, who's currently on loan at Derby County, has been nominated by the Derby County fans for their Young Player of the Season award. He only joined them on loan in January. He's been absolutely excellent for them by all accounts. You know, John Eustace, isn't it, their manager, has waxed lyrical about him and how good a player he can be. David Moyes and Billy McKinley have gone and watched him a couple of times as well while he plays there. He's playing every week, creating goals. He scored a goal and generally dominating a lot of the games. It's fantastic. That's what you want to see from your loan players. And the Derby County fans have been so so positive about him. A lot of them, you know, have been on social media asking him to stay and admitting they've done the thing you should never do, which is fall in love with a loan player and all of that. So he's done a really, really good job since he's gone to Derby County. And hopefully, from our perspective, he'll come back in this summer and show David Moyes that he deserves a chance in the first team. And, you know, again, this goes back into the discussion about, you know, your sort of under-21 side and players who are 20 and 21 and people thinking that they're still going to make it at Everton, whereas someone like Sir Harrison Armstrong just turned 18, he's out on loan playing every week in the Championship. They're the type of players you look at as indicators and go, he's got an excellent chance of, or a good chance of having a good go with Everton's first team. Whether he's good enough or not, well, only time will tell, but you look at that and think he's so far along in his football journey, and that's where other young players have got to get their level up to that, to being able to go on loan to a Championship club and play every week and rave reviews from supporters, because ultimately the fans are the ones that you listen to, aren't they? Fans will tell you if you're good enough or you're not good enough. He's doing absolutely brilliantly and he's been nominated to be their Young Player of the Year. So well done to Harrison Armstrong. They've got a huge game at the weekend to see whether or not they can stay up. Got a big chance, and hopefully for him and them, they can do it. Right, that's it for the News Daily. Make sure you like, subscribe. We are edging ever closer, you know, just over, 800 odd now, till we hit that 100,000. So thank you to each and every one. If you haven't done it yet, just click it. Click the subscribe button. Only takes a second. That's it. What did that say? Only takes a minute. Only takes you a second, even quicker than what Gary Barlow and his mates told you. See you later.